Hello, I'm Amber Ambrose. Welcome to this week's love letter. I'm adding in a few extra elements outside of cards today because I just feel like it's just been a big couple weeks. And so we need extra love and extra tools. And today, my first tool is the Light Maker's Manifesto from a really wonderful human being, Karen Walrond. You can follow her here on Instagram, or if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, she's Chunkalunks on Instagram. If you go to my Instagram page, I'll tag her in this just for reference. And there's a lot of us hoping to make light, or have been trying to make light for a long time, since we figured out that was a thing that you could do in your life. And I just turned to a random page and I picked a paragraph, and so I'm going to read from it. And I think it's very appropriate for the time that we're in, and a lot of how a lot of us are feeling. And I'm not even just talking about politics, I'm talking about the world at large, but also in our micro everyday life. There's things happening. People are suffering. Our family members are going through hard times. Our friends are sick with cancer. Our friends' kids have cancer. You know, there's just like life is still happening, the sad, scary things of normal everyday life on top of everything else. And so I think we're just being asked to stretch ourselves, stretch our hearts, stretch our ability to hold extremes, you know, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows together in the same time, and choose light, choose joy, choose to not fester in whatever the splinter is under the surface, choosing to pull out the splinter before it festers, in fact, so that we can go on and heal. But anyway, I'll actually get to the reading. It works like this. When something has happened that is causing you pain, first sit with your eyes closed. Become aware of your breathing. Then think about what is causing your discomfort. It could be something you're worrying about, or physical pain you're experiencing, or even a specific sadness. As you're focusing on this, you think to yourself, this is hard. This is the mindfulness part, spending a moment feeling your pain. It's like if I came to you and told you I was going through a hard time, you would listen and probably say something like, that must be so hard, Karen. Instead of immediately going into fix-it mode, you acknowledge the feeling. Offer yourself the same care you'd show to me. This is you showing empathy to yourself. Second, after you've sat with this for a moment, say to yourself, but you know what? This feeling is part of what it means to be human. It's normal and natural to feel this way. I tell people that all the time when I'm reading tarot for them. This is the common humanity part. This stage helps you realize in the moment that you are not alone. This feeling, this pain is part of life, and it is okay to feel it. You are not being punished. Rather, feeling what you are feeling is simply a part of living. Again, I say, this is one of the reasons we came, to feel it all. Then finally, after you acknowledge what you're feeling is totally normal part of being human, you say, may I be kind to myself. This is the kindness part. This is you telling yourself, or God, or Allah, or the universe, or whomever, that you want to be gentle with yourself as you move through your pain. A self-compassion break takes only a few minutes. So I think that's a great thing for all of us to do as everything continues to unfold in our lives and in the world, individually and collectively. And I do also have some cards here, so I'll, in the order that I pulled them, other themes for this week for us to pour more love into. 8 in the card, the Southern Gothic Oracle deck is a wonderful deck, by the way. The Painter, or Panther. I'm going to read from that guidebook because I think it's so perfect that I want to just use her words. When the Painter card appears to you, it is much like the Strength card in tarot. It summons your divine sovereignty to navigate difficult challenges with the fire of inner light. Speaking of light making, your soul has the ferocity of a mountain lion when you harness the energy within. I love it. True power rests within your soul. Call on the spiritual power of the Painter and you will strengthen your resolve. All right, so we've got compassion, we've got strength, we've got Violet, create a balanced life. This means that we cannot focus on one thing or the other. We need to make sure that we're taking good care of ourselves with compassion, that we're building our strength and our hope muscles, that we are hydrating and eating well, that we're making sure we get plenty of sleep, that we're reaching out to friends and family for support when we need it, and vice versa, that we are offering our support to friends and family and community, and just like hopefully you always would. And to not be isolated, I think, is a really part of creating a balanced life. And finally, I have the Six of Wands. This is all leading us to personal victories. This is, the small everyday victories add up to become really big things. Or maybe those small victories in and of themselves are bigger than we would like to admit, or maybe not necessarily bigger than we'd like to admit, but they're bigger than we've been taught to believe. How's that? That's probably more accurate. I think our everyday victories are getting up, finding joy, not dwelling on things that we don't want to happen, but finding joy in the little things, like a butterfly that I found on the trail this morning, or going to touch my favorite tree and tell it good morning, or taking my dog for a walk when it's under 80 degrees outside and there's a light breeze blowing. I mean, really enjoying leftovers that I didn't have to cook. Maybe these are bigger than we've given them credit for. And congratulations, by the way, to everyone in Houston who won a Michelin star. But maybe, those are the mountaintop moments. Maybe it's the ones that we wake up the next day after finding our, whatever your Michelin star is, and realize like the cup of coffee you're drinking is the perfect temperature, and it makes the mug feel really warm in your hand, and you just realize like, wow, what a great way to start my day. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be a small victory so that you can move forward in confidence and joy. Have a great week. As always, you are loved, you are supported, and you are worthy. Don't forget it. AmberAmbrose.com for private readings and events.